right. Hello everyone, my name is Sebo Weiner and I'm head of Cloud Infrastructure and G-Core Labs. With us, Thomas from the Graphcore, and today we will discuss about the AI infrastructure as a service and how we build this service and how we provide our solution for the end customers in the first class ML hardware based on the Graphcore. So we will talk about the Graphcore with the Thomas, and after that so we'll show how AI infrastructure works. So Thomas, please go ahead.
Thank you, Seva, and welcome everyone. To kick it off, I will talk about Graphcore and the compute systems we build for machine intelligence. So at Graphcore, our mission is to deliver the world's best processors and software tools to support the next breakthroughs in machine intelligence that expand human potential. So Graphcore was founded in 2016, and we have grown fast to almost 700 people today. All of the R&D is done in Europe, spread across 5 locations, and then there is 13 sales offices around the globe and an operations center in Taiwan. So how is the IPU different, the intelligence processing unit? In 2 key aspects that are fundamental for AI workloads. So it's adding massive parallelism not only at the data level but also at the instruction level, combined with ultra-fast memory access. So let's look at both aspects in the context of other architectures that are used for AI compute. So a CPU was designed for fast scalar processing. So hyper-threading was added, but essentially it's a serial hardware machine. The GPU was designed for graphics processing and was repurposed for AI. And a single instruction is operating and computing on multiple vectorized data. So with the IPU, we're extending this at this massive parallelism at the instruction level. And we achieved this by packing 1,500 processor cores on a single IPU chip. And together they can run 9,000 independent programs. So that's really what sets the IPU apart in terms of parallelism. And memory access-wise, on the IPU, the memory sits right next to the compute logic, which means that you can access it with the maximum speed and the minimum power. When it's sitting right next to the compute. So with this ideal distribution of SRAM across the chip, we achieve a 450x faster access compared to the external DRAM on the CPU. And putting all this together means the IPU is really giving acceleration for today's workloads and future workloads. So here is the IPU machine, which is the building block of all our products. It's powered by 4 IPUs that are manufactured using a 3D wafer-on-wafer stacking technology that we have developed in close cooperation with TSMC. It's delivering 1.4 petaflops in one machine, and the 3.6 gigabytes of internal processor memory are accessible at a lightning fast 260 terabyte per second. As I said, that's 420 times faster than the external DRAM of a CPU. In addition to that, the IPUs have access to 256 gigabyte of IPU streaming memory, and the 2.8 terabit per second IPU fabric is used to connect these machines together to build large scale-out systems for AI acceleration. So here's an overview of these systems. Our pod systems, we call them, they scale from pod 16 with 5.6 petaflops and 1 CPU server, all the way to pod 1K with 1,024 IPUs and 358.4 petaflops, 64 servers. So it's a disaggregated architecture I wanted to emphasize, which means you can choose the amount of AI compute independently from your server compute resources, so tailored to your application. And what does that bring you in a real-world application like a modern efficient net? Before a computer vision model, we compared the pod 16 to the fastest system available from NVIDIA, and we can deliver 5 times faster training time. So the training is 5 times faster on the Graphcore system, and the Graphcore system is available at half the price, which gives a total of 10x TCO advantage for our customers. Other models are available in our model garden. We use it to release optimized models. So as you can see, there's a cutting-edge models available in a wide range of ML domains. And we have this model garden as an interactive display at our booth, so please come by and have a play with it. You can also have interaction with demos, so we have demos, natural language processing demos, where you can ask questions to a BART model, and that model is actually running on our Graph Cloud, but Seva will tell you more about the cloud. And last but not least, I want to tell you a bit about this colorful graph on the side here. This is an actual visualization of our popular graph compiler of the BERT large model, showing how this is compiled down to the massively parallel IPU architecture with nice colors. So how can you get access to this technology, you may ask? So we sell on-prem systems, but we also make it available through private cloud and public cloud. And with that, I want to hand back to Seva, who will now tell you how Gcore have deployed the IPU on their cloud platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, one of the things that, so how this hardware to manage automatically. Yep. But before, a few words about the Gcore Labs. So we are the global international cloud edge provider with the headquarters in Luxembourg, and we have 400 plus employees in our company. And also we have a lot of branches, development branches and sales branches in Germany, Lithuania and Georgia as well. So we provide the 140 plus point of presence around the globe with 75 plus terabit per second network capacity for our customers. Basically, we provide a lot of infrastructure and platform services like CDN, hosting, DDoS protection, media platform, object storage, and of course cloud. We provide our AI scalable edge appliance for our customers, which made and designed in European Union. So we build the infrastructure services and platform services, and of course we collaborate with the big vendors to provide truly secure cloud platform for our customers. From the infrastructure side, so we provide the virtual instances. This is the basic instances, but we also provide the GPU instances for the kind of the inference or training. And also we provide the Intel SGX for encryption of the memory. And also we have the bare metal instances where we provide the dedicated servers with the cloud native infrastructure and connect your bare metal instances with your virtual instances in the single L2 connectivity, in the private connectivity. Also, we have the direct connect to connect all our regions around the globe. We have the load balancers. We have the option to migrate your infrastructure from public or your infrastructure to our cloud as well. We'll provide the disaster recovery solution and other infrastructure services. And also we have the platform services like managed Kubernetes, where we provide the option to bring your Kubernetes cluster with after scaling and after healing. We have the logging system where you can store and collect your logs in the central place. We have the function as a service where you can bring your code in any our regions around the globe. And also we have the application marketplace where you can bring any kind of application in one click. And one of the things where we collaborate with the Graphcore, with the, how I say, first class hardware for ML training models. So this is the AI infrastructure where we provide the option to bring your AI infrastructure in 10 minutes. So how it works. So we provide the option to bring the AI cluster where we spawn the new bare metal instance like a Poplar where you can run your ML training task. And also we spawn the VIPU instances. So this is the M2000 where your training is running. So we connect the Poplar bare metal server and M2000 through RDMA network. And also you can connect your data sets in our object storage as well. So how it works? You can have the access to our dashboard, REST API or Terraform provider to bring your AI infrastructure in one click. So we provision the bare metal instance, configuring the network part to isolate your cluster in the single private network, and configuring the VIPU controller to manage the Graphcore machines. And all of the things works in global our regions in United States, in Europe and Asia. And we provide the small configuration. It's one M2000 and we can bring up to 1K vPod configuration as well. And we, of course, support the multi-tenancy. We have the per minute tarification pay-as-you-go, so we can bill for AI cluster per minute. So you can run your ML training task, and we will bill for a few minutes. Also, we have the S3 object storage to store and collect your data sets. And how it says, so we support multi-regions. So how it's look ML process in the multi-cloud strategy. So you can bring the AI infrastructure to train your ML model in Gcore based on the Graphcore hardware. After that, so you have the dev environment AWS. You have some production system in the GCP, and you would like to inference your ML model in Azure in edge location. And all the things works through Terraform provider, so you're a modern company and you go with the Terraform provider. But all of the things you can do with us. So you can bring your ML model and train in our AI infrastructure in the Graphcore hardware. And after that, so you can inference your ML model in every our point of presence around the globe. So it's 140 plus point of presence. And of course, public cloud is so cool. You can bring on-demand resources, but enterprise customers and big customers would like to have the private installation, especially with the sovereign internet and sovereign infrastructure. So we provide the option to bring all of our services, all our solutions and the Graphcore hardware on your data center as the private installation. And of course, you can see the private installation in the dashboard. You can bring any kind of resources or AI cluster in your data center, but also you can use our point of presence globally for the inference your trained ML model as the hybrid solution. So to summarize, so we provide the truly secure cloud platform. We provide the AI infrastructure with the first-class hardware for the training ML model. You can use this hardware with pay-as-you-go model and, of course, support 24/7. And of course, I would like to announce that AI infrastructure will be generally available in 10th of June this year. So everybody can bring the AI cluster everywhere based on the Graphcore hardware automatically in one click. And we are the first European cloud provider which provide the special hardware for training ML model. And I would like to show you how it works in real demo. So you can see our dashboard. So this is the main page of the cloud where you can bring any projects. And if you have departments or cost centers, you can create any kind of the projects for the multi-tenancy. So let's go to the AI infrastructure, and you can see a lot of our resources and the services which we provide for our customers. But we will go to the AI infrastructure. And you can see I already have one IPU cluster with vPod 4 with the private network and the floating IP address, but we will try to create the new one. When you create the new AI cluster, so first of all, you will choose the regions. So right now we provide the one region in Luxembourg as the private closed beta, but we will bring a lot of AI resources and Graphcore hardware in all our regions. So I will choose my region in Luxembourg. After that, so I can choose my flavor. So this is the configuration type. So you can choose the vPod 4, vPod 8, vPod 16, and up to vPod 1K. So I will choose the small configuration for my installation. After that, so you will choose the image for your bare metal instance, where we install all necessary components for the Graphcore. And of course, you can choose if you would like to have this installation in the public network. That means so the bare metal instance will be available from internet, or you can also choose that your bare metal instance will be deployed in your private network. So I will choose this one option, and I have the network here. I will choose the subnetwork, but also I have the option to have the access from the internet with the floating or elastic IP address. So I will choose this option. After that, so I will choose my SSH key to connect to the Poplar or bare metal instance, and I would like to set the name of my cluster. For example, the IPU cluster vPod 4.2. And you can see the information about the price. I would say so it's per minute certification, but you will know about the final price. You will see the flavor and the price, the floating IP address, and click the create the new cluster. And in 10 minutes, you will get your fully prepared AI infrastructure in 10 minutes, I would say. But at the same time, so you can see the existing cluster where we have the vpod 4 as well. So you will have the full information. You also have the access through console to the Poplar server. You also can power on or reboot your server. You can add the new interfaces if you have the new network, so you can connect the new network to your interfaces and remove the this cluster. But at the same time, so let's try to connect to my cluster, and we'll try to run the real ML model. So let's try to do that. I will try to connect to my cluster, and you can see, so I have the iPod cluster vpod 4, and let's try to check that. So we see the Graphcore hardware. So you can see I have one M2000 with 4 silicons here, and I would like to run the training model where I will use the numerical dataset for the single IPU, and this dataset will contain 60,000 images, and we will classify that. So let's try to do that. So I will go to tutorials, and I will run my ML training model. So let's try to do that. And you can see that, so I will bring the new Docker image, and also we will connect to the IPU machine. So you can see that, so my training task also attached the IPU, and you can see that, so the training task is running at this moment. So we compile the training task, and you can see at this moment, so yeah, so here we go. You can see that, so the training task is running at this moment. And this is all. So you will have the AI infrastructure in a few minutes, and you can train your training task for a few seconds. All right. So our infrastructure trusts the big names like Group Wagner, Wargaming, Sandbox, GameAI, and other big companies who trust it for our infrastructure in their business every day. Thank you very much. If you would like to have the AI infrastructure and join to the closed beta, so please welcome and join to our booth, and we will take the requirements which you would like to have. And if you would like to have the AI infrastructure in United States, Europe, Asia with the modern and faster silicons for the training ML models, so please feel free to ask us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice one. Thanks a lot.